order for everyone to respond safely, I called for a storm standby at 11 o'clock at night. As conditions worsened, Company 2 was forced to vacate and report to Company 1. Fortunately, the first call did not come in until 2:30 that morning. The fire department had all vehicles staffed, operating, including two boats. At 1 p.m. on Sunday, operations were scaled down, only to get busy for the afternoon. We were asked to assist Rochelle Park with water rescues. After being released from Rochelle Park, the boat was requested into Milford. In the Milford, both our boats were placed in operation. As you saw in the record, two of our members made a rescue and assisted him to dry ground. In River Edge, we only made 4 water rescues. On Monday the 29th, it was cleanup time. Company 2 received a substantial amount of water damage inside the firehouse. Chief Caridi was making arrangements with the commercial cleaner to get the firehouse clean. Several firefighters and wives assisted with the initial cleanup so the fire apparatus could return that day. After 6 hours of hard work, Company 2 was placed back into service. Storm totals for Saturday night to Monday night is the following: 52 dispatches, over 1,500 man-hours. The night of the storm, we had 38 members on duty after they made sure their own homes were secure. Just a couple of comments I'd like to make. The fire sirens were essential. Because of the power failure in town, pagers were not able to be charged, and the sirens were our primary means of notification. My other comment is on a sad note. I find it hard to believe that only one council member had the decency to come down to Company 2 to inspect or evaluate the damage. I understand having to deal with your own situations, but so did all the firemen. Thank you, Sandy, for your time to visit, and thank you all for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. Okay. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? We have 2 young ladies here.
You'd like to approach, Mayor?
Sure.
My name is Carol O'Donnell. I reside at 154 East Avenue. And my name is John Lemon. I reside at 148 East Avenue. And we have formed the Voorhees Block Association. And we'd also like to recognize some of our members of Voorhees Avenue who are here tonight. Could they stand up and be recognized? Okay. We have a proposal that I'd like to read to Mayor Watkins.
Could you give me your last name again, please?
It's Lamneck, L-A-M-N-E-C-K.
Right.
I have copies of our proposal. I have signatures from every person on our block. And if you permit me, I'd like to read it.
Please.
I am Joanne Lamneck, and I reside at 148 Voorhees Avenue. Carol O'Donnell and I are the representatives of the Voorhees Block Association, hereby referred to as the BBA, which currently encompasses 43 homes on the block. The BBA is requesting that the mayor and the council take a first step in correcting the severely flawed storm drainage issue that has plagued the Voorhees Avenue residents between Bogart and Elm for over 40 years. We believe it is huge inequity for us as homeowners, taxpayers, and voters. Please understand that we are not here to ask for remediation of any issue pursuant to the recent hurricane, and would greatly appreciate it if you would make every effort to see our issue for what it is, a separate and historic inequity. On August 23rd, 2011, I sent a letter outlining flooding that occurred on Voorhees Avenue between Bogart and Elm Streets, where the street flooded to up to 4 feet over a 15-minute rainfall that occurred on August 19th. Cars were lost, basements filled with water, appliances were destroyed, and interior rooms were ruined. We can document these losses if necessary. There was an extended outage of phone, internet, and cable service, and I also have a reference letter attached of August 23rd with signatures. The devastation was covered by Channel 7 ABC News. We understand that historically there has been a subcommittee that existed regarding sewage and storm drainage concerns of the town. We respectfully request that if the committee still conducts these meetings, that we be informed and or present when these meetings are held to discuss our proposal and concerns. Our proposal. The VBA believes we need additional storm drains and or pipes to adequately remove water from the street. We believe that there are 4 streets feeding water onto our section of Voorhees Avenue. They are Kensington, Bogart, Manning, and Elm. It is because of all the additional water flowing from these streets onto Voorhees Avenue, which creates a unique drainage situation and thus requires special consideration. We therefore request the following. The town engineer, currently Rob, conduct a comprehensive review of the current storm drain maps with an eye on how our section of Voorhees has a unique drainage situation and presents an analysis to the VBA and the town council within 30 days. All drainage pipes related to the Voorhees Avenue drainage problem be videoed and if necessary cleaned and cleared. Further, that this be documented and presented within 30 days to the VBA and to the town council. 3. The current storm drains be cleaned on Voorhees and further down the line to allow some temporary relief. 4. We ask that the town consider adopting a preventive system such as East Tech, which Oradell has successfully utilized to prevent flooding. 5. The town conducts a budget analysis that would encompass the cost and resources necessary for remediation of this issue. That is, the installation of additional storm drains and at least 1 more pipe to move this uniquely large volume of water that Voorhees Avenue experiences. Further, we request that this analysis be presented to all concerned parties 1 month from the previous presentations. We believe that Manning Avenue had a similar issue, and that at that time it received matching funds from the county and state and additional pipes to alleviate its rainflow problem. We would like to know if this is true and how it relates to this problem on Voorhees, if at all. The VBA would also like to emphasize that it strongly believes that the drainage issues expand beyond a cleaning and require a resolution which includes additional storm drains and pipes. Resolution of this problem is of paramount importance to not only the safety of the inhabitants of Voorhees Avenue, but also to the resale value of their homes and the property values of the town as a whole. In closing, I'm very appreciative of the obvious efforts made by the DPW in advance of the current hurricane at the paper to clear out the drains, which resulted in Voorhees Avenue not experiencing any street or house flooding, Hurricane Irene. This urgent proposal is respectfully made to the mayor and to the council for its consideration and respectfully request that this assessment be made within 30 days.
Well, I appreciate your report and your proposal. We have a sewer subcommittee meeting, which you can certainly attend. I think it's next week. Next week or the week after. I have it on the calendar.
I have my address and my phone number.
Right, so we will let you know so that you can come up. I don't know if it will be done within 30 days, but certainly will be addressed at the sewer subcommittee meeting, and both of you are more than welcome to attend. Okay? I don't think we have room for the entire residential neighborhood of Voorhees Avenue, but since you are the representatives, please come. If you, we meet in the other room, so there are not that many spaces. But if you could just please call Denise and let them know when it is, and we appreciate you coming up. And I was on Voorhees Avenue that night, because I was also stuck in the rain. And then a car was stuck in the middle of Voorhees. I couldn't go anywhere, so I went around. Kensington was worse. So I will tell you, they were very, very badly flooded.
Well, our block is very severe right now.
Right now,
During
I know.
this current storm.
So I'm just telling you, that night, I do understand recently, because I'm talking about that Friday night. It was really a very severe downpour. And there were many streets that were flooded, but yes, there was a car stuck right in the middle. and there were people honking too because I guess they couldn't get out. And I know Kensington was very, very bad. But it's that area. But yes, please come to the sewer subcommittee meeting. Yes, please. You have enough for everybody?
Yes.
Great,
And I
thank
have
you.
some for August 23rd also.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, this is open to the public. I'll give you a chance to talk again. Okay?
I just thought, Mayor, because Mr. Costa and Mr. Rich were here, maybe they had some historical perspective on.
Should we saw another day that she does all the time?
They have not been advised that this was coming up tonight, and I think they need an opportunity to research it and find out. And since they will both be at the sewer subcommittee meeting, this will be certainly addressed and then brought up at a public meeting. Okay? Okay, and besides, I will open it if they want to talk. This is the opportunity for the public. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to talk before I then ask Mr. Costa if he wants to address this? Yes?
Peggy White, 741 Center Avenue. Would I don't know what you call them, the wells that are on the Knights of Columbus parking lot and Dr. O'Neill's parking lot be covered by the sewer and whatever you said, whatever you call them, the drains? Because we're trying to figure out on our street, there's 3 houses of us that get such a tremendous amount of water coming down, and it's not coming from the streets on Kindercomack Road because we've gone up there and tried to figure it out.
You know, Peggy, I think you may be right because if those wells, if those storage tanks, retention tanks overflow, I think probably.
Well, they weren't up high, yet
No.
water was still coming. We
Pouring
can't figure
down.
out where it's coming
I
from.
don't know, but would probably be covered with the sewer subcommittee. Yeah, yeah.
I thought maybe,
So we can address that.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Okay. Mr. Costa, did you want to address Sandy's question?
As far as historic, I mean, during Floyd, there were problems down there. As far as federal money, I don't remember any federal money being spent on Manning, to my knowledge. But if there is, maybe you could just tell me what that was, or.
You said county.
From what
I
we
say
heard,
county and state.
yeah,
I don't think that's federal.
on Manning, there's an
Yeah.
additional storm drain. There's an additional one that what we've been told by the residents of Manning was that there was recently, within recent years, additional storm drainage on their street. So we didn't know if there's documentation to that effect. We'd like to see that.
Since I have been here, I have never heard of anything special being done on Manning. Okay, I will say that. But I will say that we've had the Army Corps of Engineers up regarding flooding issues. And I do know, long before the time of anybody who's sitting here today, before you were, they had the Army Corps of Engineers in, and they redirected that Oak Avenue ditch. Now, if that went through Manning, that may have been, that may be what they're talking about, but that's a long time ago. I wasn't here at that time, and I don't think anybody here in the room was present, unless there were infants. I really don't know. But when we last asked the Army Corps of Engineers to come up and do something about the flooding situations, they said that they didn't have any way to alleviate anything, and that yes, this had been done many, many years ago with the redirection of the Oak Avenue ditch, but they weren't going to do anything further. So unless something happens, you know, for federal, state, or county money, I don't know how, if it did happen, I don't know what other situation there was that Manning said, you know, people on Manning said that they had an extra storm drain put in because of federal
That's
funding.
what they're claiming.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'd really have to research that and see if there was something, but I think it would be quite a long time ago if that happened. I don't think it was in recent days. The only other thing I can think of is if an individual or a new building was constructed, and as part of the construction, something was tied in and a storm drain was put in. But I don't really know. I guess we'll have to
Wait, if I could make
investigate
a
that.
suggestion, as far as, if we could bring this up at the sewer subcommittee meeting.
Yeah.
With that venue, if I could go out and meet with some of the residents and then
and see.
And then let's explore part of the problem, and then certainly
Come down.
come back to the council with
Yeah.
any recommendations.
Right. Okay, but I thank the young ladies for bringing this up, and I thank you, Bob, for your comment. Okay, young man,
Yes, Timothy O'Donnell, 154 East Avenue. Can I just bring a light to one of the situations with this on
Yes.
Voorhees?
yes, please.
Is in between Voorhees and Kensington is a creek running behind the houses. Okay, this creek, once it is filled with capacity, is creating a wall of all the water coming from Greenway Park onto the paper path and all the way through. It then goes in behind, what's your address, Tom?
153 Voorhees.
It then goes in behind 153 Voorhees, where it makes a right-hand turn and out onto Kensington into another creek that's running parallel with Oak. The problem I see, and I'm not an engineer, I'm just looking at, right now that thing is
You're just
cresting
looking
right
at
now.
it,
The
right.
creek right now is cresting with the rain we have tonight.
Right,
So what is happening is the water flow from Elm is filling that creek, creating a wall for all the water that is coming through the paper path.
yeah.
That is what is happening. As far as, if you could just maybe take a look at that area, if it was a more of a direct straight run, I believe we wouldn't have an issue.
Okay.
You
Thank
know?
you very much, you know,
Okay.
because you're observing it and you see what's happening.
I'm
Right.
dealing with it.
Right. I believe it, I
You
know.
know,
I know, yeah. I mean, you have to be knee-deep in it, that's really bad.
Just,
Yeah, chest deep, okay. Young lady,
Hi,
thank you.
Gibson Evis, 142 Voorhees. I grew up in town, and we had open areas in the brook area there for a long time. So I don't know when that got closed, but it was in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helped or hurt. It seems like it might have hurt.
Yeah, the less impervious land we have, the worse things get. You know, so you close things up or, you know,
Well, they closed it up at the brook. Now they have the tubes for the water to go through.
the culverts.
Yeah, but it used to be an open brook, so that if it overflowed, it would overflow, but it wouldn't, I don't know.
It wouldn't pour onto something. Yeah.
It's just a thought. I
Okay, I
mean,
think
I don't
we'll-
know if that's what the Army Corps of
We'll have to
Engineers
look at
did.
this. It could be. I don't know. Okay, anyone else? Yes, young man.
And I wasn't sure if there was going to be an additional set time for public comment, because if you had additional items you were discussing, or no?
No, this is open
Okay.
to the public.
Okay. Brad Nisi, I've recently purchased 874 Fifth Avenue with the intent of building up the second floor. It's a standard Cape Cod. And I understand there's a motion, or whatever you might call it, to kind of go back to the previous ordinance you had regarding going up with the second floor without a requirement for variance,
Right.
which, as I understand, is the current requirement. So I'm kind of stuck in a little bit of a time zone in that do I wait for the motion to pass or go ahead with the variance? So I guess on one hand I'm kind of looking for some guidance as well as kind of throwing
Okay.
myself on the mercy of the court, if you will, to proceed ahead with the.
Okay, I'll have our borough engineer handle that.
Yeah, what we've done is, Mark Skirvitz, who was the construction code official for the borough, had indicated that there were a number of variances going before the zoning board for this very issue, that